Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SATAL 2021. As always, I'm your host, Moltar, and we are ready to rock and roll with another doubleheader on this fine Saturday morning, afternoon, or evening. Getting us started is Team WTF against DCSNZA. Silver League 4v4, Maycop against Mineral Vody. I'm ready to get going. I hope you guys are ready to get going. No supercuts yet. Alpha Whiskey's been working on. We got the graphics. I also had Akagi tweak the overlay. So we added the zeros in so you guys can see all of the weapons in a line. If it doesn't just blank out if there's nothing being carried of that, it'll actually show zero. And the overlay is actually smaller. So we condensed it down a little bit. Takes up less room. I think everybody will be happy. I'm happy. My team's happy. I know there's a lot of matches going on today, so good luck with everybody. This track, I think, is about 3 weeks old. So this is going to be one of the final matches. We've got this one and another one today, and then 2 more tomorrow, and then we are on to match 3. Granelli says the overlay is awesome. Dude, it is phenomenal. Streaming this on one monitor and RLCS on another. What is RLCS? Is that Rocket League? You know, I have never played Rocket League in my life. I don't think it's necessarily a bad game. It's just, I've never done it. So I think that's Rocket League Championship Series. That'd be my guess. I guess. That's the only thing I can think RL stands for. But guys, WTF against DCSNZA. Mineral Vody against Maycop. I'm ready. I hope you guys are ready. 4v4 Silver League. Here we go. No supercut, guys, again. It's not done yet. We will probably see that after match or round 1. So hopefully Alpha Whiskey can get that finished up here real quick. But again, let's jump into the sim. DCSNZA taking on Team WTF in a Silver League 4v4 matchup. Here's DCSNZA taking active. We've got Schlags, Batman back there. I saw 2 F-18s. So they've got DCSNZA. They've got 2 16s and 2 Hornets. But I think it's going to be easier if we just use the overlay here. So DCSNZA is represented by Shags, Status 32, Batman 15, and Ragnar. 2 F-18s and 2 F-16s. We'll have to see if they're AMRAAM buses or not. And I'll also be interested to see if the F-16s are taking any IR-type missiles in today's matchup. And then the other team, Team WTF RS. If anybody's from Team WTF, what does the RS stand for? I'm going to assume this is like the B team, the recruits or what have you. And Lumen Ghost, I'm not entirely sure what the hell's going on with the bot, but he doesn't want to respond. I think it was up here earlier. Let's get this out of the way. I think it was up here earlier as far as TAC view. Yeah, it's right here. I'm going to have to look at what's going on with Streamlabs bot, but there it is, so you guys can get the IP information. But these guys have taken active, and then we've got Team WTF over here with everybody involved on that side. Now, Team WTF is taking 4 16s, whereas DCSNZA is taking 2 16s and 2 18s. The swathery voice hath drawn me back to DCS like a sailor drawn back to the sea. Are you calling me a mermaid? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to being called a mermaid. Grab sailors with my sexy, sultry voice and drag them down to the abyss. I mean, that's the way, right? That is the way. So these guys are taking active. Here is Ragnar in the F-18, getting his team ready to go. Is there anybody in front of him? Yeah, it's going to be Status 32 up there in front of his F-16. More like a siren. All right. All right. Well, what is the male equivalent of a mermaid? What is a merman? What do they look like? How terrifying are they? Because I know mermaids are actually pretty terrifying looking in actual lore and mythology. They're not these beautiful things or whatever. They're just Murmansk. Is that real? I have no idea. I'll be educated on this. Samurai coming in for the Tier 1 sub. 33 months. I cannot believe that we have been doing this for that long. Creedle says they are manatees. Are you saying something about me, Creedle? Is that what I need to know? Like muscle-bound dad bod with a shark tail? I embrace the dad bod. My wife loves my dad bod. I don't know why women like dad bods. I have no idea why. I've definitely got one, and I embrace it because I have 2 kids, and they're very active, and the amount of times we have to eat out is ridiculous. Though we did buy a cooler in hopes of, hey, we're going to pack our lunch instead of eating out all the time. Yeah, right. Like that ever happened, because it didn't. Samurai says Kraken. Well, I can tell you right now that a merman is not a Kraken. I mean, I would love to be a Kraken, but a merman is not a Kraken. I mean, Kraken's like baller status, Stalin bus, MI8 level awesomeness, and I'm not on the same level as an MI8. All right? So these guys are now taking off. DCSNZA, Status 32, and Batman 15 leading the way, followed by the 2 F-18s, Ragnar and Shags. And then over on the other side, we have Team WTF RS leaving, Kikaku and Slide taking off. And I just realized that I did not actually go over who is flying for Team WTF. I just kind of put it up, and then we didn't actually talk about it. So Slide, Mikabo, Kikaku, and Fargo, 4 F-16s. We've got 6 16s in this matchup and 2 18s. 4 for the Team WTF RS side, and then 2 16s and 2 18s for DCSNZA. Now we are flying a little bit louder than we have in the past, so just be aware that things are going to be loud. They were yesterday. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you guys don't, please let me know. But here's DCSNZA Ragnar as they come in. Let's bring up the overlays so we can see what's going on. You guys can see on the overlay that everything's a bit more condensed, right? We've gotten it. Akagi has worked his magic and pushed things further out to the side and made us have more room on the inside. Rum Runner says, do you use reshade? Not on this. So not on these. I probably should put it on. I used to. It's on my flying sim, but it's not on these. I probably should. I really probably should. Really should, actually. Rest of the DCS, or excuse me, Team WTF taking off as we've got Mikabo and his wingman. Who is he flying with? Where is it? And Fargo departing. They are going to be out of Mineral Voti. So we've got Team WTF RS out of Mineral Voti. DCSNZA is going to be out of Makop. And here's what that mission location is going to look like. Airfields are about 130 miles apart. So decent ingress. They're going to have plenty of time to get to altitude, but not, overly amounts of time to bleed through tons of fuel. So that should be good. Rum Hunter says, I'm trying to learn how to use it. It's not hard. You forgot to enable anti-aliasing, mate. That's because, Envy, this is a 720p camera. This one. Because it's on a different monitor. Whereas if we look at the other ones, this is 1080p and it's got anti-aliasing on. The 720p one does not have it on because it's on a different monitor. It's running on a different GPU, and I have to turn things off in order for it to work appropriately. But the top two, the main two, have it on. So like these two, they've got anti-aliasing on for sure, and they're a higher resolution, so you're not going to notice as much of those J's. Team WTF RS means whatever you want. I was thinking red shirts, but that reference didn't make sense for everyone. What can we call them? Guys, let's come up with something. What can we call them? Team WTF RS. Somebody come up with a good breakdown of what RS means. Give me something. Give me something. Kikaku says we can call them whatever we want. Definitely not red shirt. I am from Greece. How do I say your name, I am from Greece? Give me a phonetic breakdown in English. Butio? Did I say that right? Rally sport? What? Bear suggested Rising Stars, Regal Sky. I was thinking you guys would come up with like some massively inappropriate naming conventions, but everything's been very tame. Rookie Squad. You guys are too tame. Way too tame. Why is that one? I guess we're getting engines. Real shit. All right. Now we're getting into it. Real shit's a good one. I thought it's Reapers because it's a bit combined with GRC. I mean, Reapers could be okay. Rump Specialist. Now we're getting into it. Now we're getting into it. So here's how the two teams look as we ingress continually into Bullseye. Reminder, there is a bubble that extends around Bullseye that shrinks a mile a minute. Who's leading the way? We've got Batman and Status leading the way for DCSNZA. On the other side, we've got Kikaku and Slide. So all 16s on the lead part of this engagement. The 18s are going to be a trail from Shags and Ragnar for DCSNZA. How is this going to go down? Both teams, they're at decent altitude, at least What the fuck is. DCSNZA is much better altitudes. They're sitting at 40,000 feet. The thing they need to be careful about is not getting caught with their pants down too high and splitting them britches open. So being this high is great. Being at Mach 1.3 is fantastic, but you can't be this high when you're really close to an adversary that is hot on you. If he launches on you, you dead. Really stupid, rear scored. Oh my God. This is more of what I expected. Missile out from Slide from Team Whatafuck RS to 120. And the F-16s from Team Whatafuck are rocking all AIM 120s. So nothing other than 120s for Team Whatafuck, whereas Team DCSNZA, the F-16s are taking all actives, and the 18s have got 6 and 2. All right, but here's the missiles as they come in onto their intended targets. 2 missiles have been launched by Slide and Kikaku for Team Whatafuck. Batman just launched one onto Kikaku. Ragnar launched one from his rear guard Hornet. Shags has launched 2. And is that tracking Batman? No, but Batman has got a missile closing on him. Here's Batman defending. There's the missile. It's out of energy. I guess he recognized that it's out of energy as it falls away. Not able to turn with him in his F-16. He's still got the 2 bags on. Oh, Slide. We missed one. So Slide took down Status. Let's look at the TAC view. What happened here? This was a first-round pass. So Status got taken down from Slide in this first pass, and he just defended way too late against a high-flying missile. And this is exactly what I talked about with defending too late, getting caught high with your pants down. Status gets slammed by the rear impacting ballistic enema, and he goes down trying to wait too long to get missiles of his own off onto Slide and to Fargo. All right, let's continue here. Hit play. Here we go. Sorry for missing that one, guys. I was not expecting somebody to go down here early in this round, in this matchup. Now, we see Batman just launched a 120. He is at 22,000 feet. That 120 is going to be coming in on... It's on Macabu. So here is Macabu with that 120 rapidly encroaching. Macabu is high as well, Mach 1.3, but if you're this high against an encroaching threat, 26,000 feet he was when he was defending, that missile's going to have some juice by the time it reaches him. Half a mile, 0.1, goodbye Macabu. Wings eject from his aircraft, and Batman able to avenge his fallen comrade as Macabu takes the fence post and gets taken out of the match. Sorry, I was going to say something else, but it was grossly inappropriate. And even I have to curb some things that come out of my mouth, or before they come out of my mouth. Slide now, picking it up for Team Whatafuck, trying to make something happen. He's got 5 sticks left on his jet. Just saw a missile come off from Kikaku down to the south. Kikaku's in a 1v2 against Shags and Batman. He's still got the center line tank on his jet. Missiles going down onto Shags. Shags has waited to get a 120 off of his F-18 onto Kikaku. And what do you know? We've got Slide coming in onto Batman. So everybody's really turning this into a one-on-one situation. Slide onto Batman. Kikaku onto Shags and Ragnar onto Fargo. And I need to put that right there so that it's over the top. But here's everybody as they ingress in onto everyone. Is everybody over Mach 1? Sure looks like it. So who is this? Batman now breaking away. Batman is going to be on camera 1, dragging away with a 120. He's got 3 sticks and his 2 bags left on his jet. Ragnar now getting a missile launched on him up to the north from Fargo. Fargo's going to be on camera 2, upper right corner. Here is Fargo. 3 tanks still on his jet. Is he on external fuel still? Yes, he is. So he hasn't burned through all of his tanks. He needs to turn the lights off. He's a beacon for people to see him. Who else did we lose? Lose somebody else? Batman and Shags. What happened here? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what happened. So, Slide took down Status. Batman took down Macabo. Is this the right round? Did something get missed? I think something got missed. Somebody else is missing from this. Unless they're like way out. Moltar on his game as usual. Dude, I don't know. I'm just a mess. So here's the tack view. Who died? So Batman and Shags are still alive. Batman, Shags. Did somebody disconnect? Ragnar died. How did he die? Oh, he just disappeared. I guess he over-G'd, so we didn't miss it really anything there. All right. Here we go. So now we've got a 2v3 developing here. Put one camera on Shags as he gets a missile launched on him from Kakaku. And put another one onto Batman so we can watch both these guys come in and see what they've got coming on. Kakaku launches onto Shags. Shags in the F-18, having to defend. He's got a 120 somewhere close. It's over his lift vector. Close, he defeats it, flies over his aircraft. Slide trying to press onto Batman. Shags is recommitted. He may have an opening onto Slide. Slide is at 16,000 feet. Shags is well below him. So Shags, where's Slide? Slide's above him somewhere. And I don't have labels on this camera, so we're just going to have to make it. Oh, I do. There's the 120. Oh, that flew right by Shags' aircraft. Not sure how he was able to get away from that one, but he does. Now another 120 coming at him from Fargo. He's breaking into that missile. He's got 4 120s left on his jet. We're sticking with Shags as he continues to press. 120 out from Fargo onto Shags. Off to his left. Shags has dropped that one out of its energy state, easily defended. Now another missile out from Fargo. We can see that departing his jet 3.5 miles away as it closes. Shags now driving away in onto Kakaku, or trying to run down, Slide down to the south. Kakaku, 5 miles, 4 miles now at the 10 o'clock of Shags. Missile inbound for Shags' face, and that missed. How did that miss? What the hell happened? Missile out. That one connected. So Shags gets oh so lucky somehow, and now we've got a 2v2. And Batman has a missile coming in for him. Batman getting caught high. Missile's right behind him. It flies. Where is it? It's right here somewhere. I don't see it. It's not there. All right, so Slide now merging with Shags, and then Shags got hit. I'm going to assume by Slide. He goes down. Batman is the only one left for DCSNZA against Fargo and Slide. Missiles getting close to Fargo. It falls short. So we've got a merge coming between Batman and Slide. Fargo's a little bit off to the north, trying to come back in. Batman's got enough missiles to make this work. We don't have labels on camera 1 for some reason, so just bear with it here, ladies and gentlemen. Batman sees Fargo, or Slide, excuse me, launches a 120. Missile out onto Batman. That missed somehow. And Batman able to take down Fargo, or excuse me, Slide, and we're down to a one-on-one between Batman and Fargo. I have no idea how these missiles are missing, but they are. Does Batman have any weapons left? No. Fargo has 2. But given how this round is gone, these pacifist 120s have done nothing. Literally nothing. 120 now, out onto Batman. And Batman doesn't care, as that missile doesn't track. What in God's green earth is going on? Batman committing onto Fargo. Fargo trying to come up over the top onto Batman. Batman has no missiles left. Fargo still has 1. Guns possible for Batman. Tanks are off. Guns out, and nothing connects. Still trying to make something happen. Batman on the 6 of Fargo. Fargo has 1 missile remaining. 420 knots for Fargo. 410 knots for Batman. More guns out. Saw 1 hit on the right wing of Fargo. Needs to save that gun ammo as the F-16 does not carry a lot of 20 mil. Batman closing again. Puts another burst out. Over the top right shoulder. Saw a couple more hits on Fargo's aircraft. Batman at this rate is going to run out of gun ammo. Fargo trying to force the overshoot, gets him close. They're now in the scissor. Batman going straight up, trying to conserve the airspeed and not overshoot. Batman is broken away. Batman may be out of gun ammo. Does anybody know the hotkey for labels? Batman now coming in over the top. Fargo trying to turn up into him. Thinks better about that decision. Reminder, Batman has no missiles left on his jet. Shift F10. Oh, I had it. There we go. So still, I don't know if they see each other or what's going on here, but just an over-the-top. Batman is in a much better position, but he doesn't have any boomsticks left. Fargo's the only one that's got a missile left. Now, he does have his lights on, so he's probably going to be easier to see. Not that it does really anything during the day. Batman seems to know where Fargo is, but I don't think Batman has any gun ammo left. No, he doesn't. So the overlay shows him with 0. Yeah, Samurai, the gun ammo is accurate on the overlay. He has none left. So Batman just trying to run Fargo out of fuel or to force him into the ground. Fuel's pretty even. 120 now again out from Fargo, and it flies harmlessly by Batman's jet. What is going on? I've got to say, Batman should be dead a multitude of times during this match, and Fargo now looks like he's got the advantage. Batman's a little bit lower on fuel. They're now into a 2 circle. Getting low. Can Fargo pull out of this? Looks like he's going to be able to. Fargo needs to be careful on the burner. He doesn't have a lot of fuel left. Getting angles. So Fargo does have a fuel advantage over Batman. Batman is not in afterburner. Now he is. Still in the 2 circle. Pretty evenly spaced here. Both trying to climb again. Use God's G over the top. Fargo looks to be getting some angles. Batman trying to go oblique over the top of the turn circle. Doesn't work. We may develop into a scissor. Now we're back into a 2 circle. Pretty even fuel now as both these guys are in gate. Batman and Fargo. Fargo trying to play angles, pulling and cashing in. 240 knots, possible gunshot from him. He's got it. Gunshot. Oh, pull the trigger. And he didn't. He had an opportunity there. Can Batman reverse it? Oh, he reversed it, but solved some geometry problems for Fargo, allowing Fargo to stay behind and not go into the overshoot. Fargo staying on the 6, but Fargo now has less fuel than Batman, so Batman doing a better job with the fuel conservation. Again into the 2 circle. Fargo continues to get the advantages here in the 2 circle, as Batman seems to want to conserve fuel. Now Batman pulls some angles, comes up over the top, but Batman doesn't have any weapons. And I don't think either of these guys are going to have enough gas to get home after this fight. So Batman up over the top, Fargo below. I don't know that they see each other. It looks like Batman's looking at Fargo. Batman now coming back into the 6. Fargo looked like he lost visual on Batman, and Batman's now in the driver's seat on the backside of Fargo's F-16. Batman would have had another gun opportunity here, but he expended all of his 20 mil rather haphazardly in the first merge that these guys had before they separated for a few minutes. Batman still trying to drive, act like he's got something. Fargo needs to recognize that Batman doesn't seem to have any weapons left. But neither of them have any fuel left. Fargo's gonna be out of motion lotion. If I remember correctly, guys played on US servers, so everyone was 100 plus, which probably did not help those shitty AMRAMs. Yeah, probably. This doesn't seem like desync. This seems like something else. This seems like something else. I have no idea what was causing what we're seeing here. But Batman again with a possible kill opportunity, but he has no weapons. Fargo, it seems, has just given up. And Fargo's fuel bar has run out, so he's going to be at idle and out of gas here very soon. Batman still has a little bit of juice left. .88 engine per RPM for Fargo, 100 for Batman, and there goes Fargo's engine. Batman comes up over the top, but it doesn't matter because Batman, I don't think, is going to have the gas to get home. He's trying to climb. Fargo's out. And there goes Batman's engine. So this round is going to end in a draw. As close as they can get. Batman got 3 kills in that last round, if we include Fargo. 2 if we don't. 3 kills. Now, Batman should have died many, many times to 120s. God knows what reason Batman is still alive. But let's check out the TAC view and see what happened. We can count the number of times that Batman traded one of his 9 cat lives to keep going. That one right there, Batman should probably be dead. Beep. So that's 1. Let's just follow Batman. All right, let's just follow him. Okay? So Batman, we got 1. We got 2. Oh, sorry. We got 3. We got 4. I think there's one more somewhere. Where is it? Nope, I guess that was it. So 4 to 5 times he should have been dead. Well, he's rich, so he probably bought some crazy ECM to put in his F-16. Possibly. Possibly. But I don't know. That was just some crazy shenanigans going on there. I have no idea why Batman was allowed to live, but he did. The 120s just, he had a 120 force field on. The 120s could not connect with him. Why? 5 missed 120s that flew right by his jet for seemingly no real reason. Getting the supercut now. All right, guys, so now we're going to move on to round 2. Hold on. All right, we're going to move on to round 2. I'm going to send you out with a supercut. We're going to see if round 2 is going to be the same. If it's the same, I don't really know what to say. But since that one was a draw, that means we're going to have 3 rounds, regardless. 3 rounds since round 1 was a draw. All right, so regardless of what happens in the next round, we're getting a 3rd round. And that's what we all want. That is, of course, what we all want. So enjoy the supercut. When we get back, round 2, DCSNZA against Team WTF RCS. See you guys back here in just a minute. Back in the pit, ladies and gentlemen, DCSNZA against Team WTF RS. And we're in a draw. Nobody is up. It is still 0-0. Over a barn burner of a round 1 where we went down to the final 2. Batman runs out of gun ammo, not able to kill each other, and then they both run out of fuel, claimed by the ground. What a way to start a match. And what a way for DCSNZA, because they came in late, to get their name on the board here in Silver League. I mean, taking on Team WTF, even though it's their RS team, going even. I think that's a great way for them to start. But DCSNZA against Team WTF RS tied after 1 round. So we're going to get 3 rounds regardless. Gonna get 3 rounds regardless. Who is flying in today's matchup? Well, let's take a look and see. DCSNZA is represented by Shags, Vulcan, Wipeout, and Ragnar. Little bit of a change of lineup here going into round 2. And then Team WTF is Slide, Makabo, Kikaku, and Fargo. So Team WTF's got the 416s, whereas DCSNZA has 2 and 2. Goodness, Viper gank squads? I mean, if that's how you want to look at it. The performance of the AMRAMs make it all look a bit like blind fencing. Kind of. Now, ED is working on them, guys. It is what it is. They made changes for the better. Things went a little bit in the toilet. And I think things are moving in the correct direction. So we all just got to be patient. Though, as Lumengo says, the current AMRAM, in what we saw from the last round, does kind of look like blind fencing. I'm thinking of rewriting all DCS manuals to emulate the real thing, just like the planes, but for in DCS. What do you think? What do you mean, Mojave? What is that? What does that mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Manuals to emulate the real thing? You mean like tactics and stuff? Would love to see Phoenix in the mix of this. Well, we may in the next match. We're not in this one. We saw a lot of Phoenix yesterday. We may see him in the next match. Now, I do see that Team WTF is already departed. Slide and Kikaku have taken off. DCSNZA are a little bit late getting going. Wipeout is way back there. Still at the other end of the runway. Pilot manuals, you know the documents. Maybe. People need to realize that DCS is not the real thing. The things that happen in DCS aren't necessarily the real thing. And also, you have the ability to learn from death. So pilots in DCS are more apt to walk that fine line and figure out and learn the true thresholds of weapons and aircraft capabilities. Whereas in real life, most pilots, leaders, what have you, are not going to want to put any part of their war machine in jeopardy in a way that they're walking that fine line that's 50-50 whether they're going to die to learn. That's not what they want to do. So I don't think they do that. Having talked to real pilots, that's, I think, a big part of where tactics differ. The other part is missiles and aircraft performance, I think, are also a bit different. So it makes it difficult to emulate one way or the other. So I'm not saying you can't or you shouldn't. I'm simply saying that those are the things that you need to be aware of, that DCS is not necessarily flown how its real life counterpart is, and its real life counterpart is not necessarily flown how DCS is. They're two totally separate, independent things. Though we like to think DCS is identical to the real thing, it's not. So just food for thought. I think it would be cool, but just things to think about. Wonder Woman logo? No, it's Team WTF logo. I guess it does kind of look like Wonder Woman, but it's Team WTF. Wipeout is dead. Why is Wipeout dead? Oh, he respawned. Okay, so let me fix that. Come on. Why is it airing out like this now? There we go. Okay. So Wipeout is back. He just had to respawn. Is this all Vipers, says Echo? No. So we've got, if I go through the team overlays again, we've got DCSNZA with 2 Vipers and 2 Hornets, Shags, Vulcan, Wipeout, and Ragnar. And then Team WTF RS is 4 Vipers, Slide, Makabu, Kikaku, and Fargo. Slide is looking eager. He is, isn't he? He's looking like he's raring to go. So Slide is in front of Kikaku. It does look like he's ready to rock and roll. Slide always is, says Anomaly. Slide does seem to be fairly aggressive. Echo, thank you, no problem. Always here to answer questions. Let's zoom in this TAC view, see what everybody's got going on. Batter on PS4, hello! How are you doing today on your awesome afternoon? It's probably, what, 5 p.m.? Is it 5 p.m. there? I think you're 6 hours ahead of me, depending, I guess, where you are in the UK. Now, something to point out. Team WTF is much closer to Bullseye. And given what we can see from the F10 view, where the bubble is, I'm a little worried about DCSNZA getting pushed out of the bubble. How am I? I'm great. I am great. What better way to start a day and a weekend than with DCS and SATAL? We got a doubleheader. We got this match. So we got 3 rounds in this match because the first round ended in a tie. And then we got Diamond League 4v4 with Harpia taking on SPQR, which I'm looking forward to seeing. So this is the bubble, what everything looks like. And look how much further ahead Team WTF RS is than their opponent of DCSNZA. So DCSNZA is just now entering the bubble. Ragnar, the F-18s, deciding to, instead of taking 6 AMRAAMs and 2 heaters, to take 10 AMRAAMs and 2 heaters. So the spam ram buses are here, and Vulcan also decided, man, these missiles suck. I'm taking a heater. So instead of 6 AIM-120s, he is taking 5 and 1 AIM-9. Why the delay on TO? Was it a choice or issue? I don't know, Samurai. I don't know why they delayed. I know Wipeout disconnected and had to respawn, so that may be it, and they were waiting for him. Wipeout's actually still on the ground. So looking at Wipeout, you can see he's still... Well, he's taxiing now. Here's Wipeout. He might do better with 10 AIM-9s and 2 120s. Unfortunately, with the F-18, you can't put the 120s on the wingtip, and you can't put different missiles on a dual rack, from what I understand. Wipeout going to be bubble kill? Maybe. I think we modified that so that doesn't happen. Unless every one of your teammates is dead in the bubble. Then it happens. So if everybody for DCSNZA dies that's entered the bubble, then it will happen. And this is what the current bubble state looks like right now. That is not in a very aggressive song. So DCSNZA is in the bubble. Just saw missiles coming off from Ragnar. He's launched 3 missiles. 3 120s came off from Ragnar. 4 120s off from Ragnar. 1 up onto Kikaku, 1 onto Makabu, 1 onto Slide, and 1 onto Fargo. So he opens with a 5 missiles off of Ragnar. Just letting it rain. Sending him out. 6! Good God! Batman now to outdone. Not be outdone, fires 1. So 6 missiles out from Ragnar, 1 out from Batman, 1 out from Vulcan. Batman gets hit! Batman's gone. Saw that on the right camera. He's deleted, and things are not starting well for DCSNZA. They've got somebody coming in very late who actually may get killed by the bubble if Ragnar and Vulcan both die. Another missile out from Ragnar. That's going to be on Fargo. Fargo launching a weapon of his own in his F-16. He's got 5 sticks left. Another missile out from Ragnar. Ragnar has 2 120s left. He has launched 8 missiles so far. 8! In this very short opening to this match. Team WTF RS seems to be unfazed. Most of them are cold. Macabo is hot. 9, another missile coming off from Ragnar. That's going to be on Macabo up to the north. Macabo has already turned around, so that missile's not going to be a factor. Ragnar's going to be out of sticks. He's going to be totally out of weapons. He's used all of his AMRAAMs. There goes the last one. He has no AMRAAMs left. Ragnar has no AMRAAMs. He has launched 10 AMRAAMs in the span of like 1 minute. That is crazy. Kikaku says, well, I guess that solves the 120 dual rack problem for Drag. It seems so. It would seem so. So he's down to AIM-9s only. Slide, the aggressive one, or the one we thought was aggressive, coming in from 20,000 feet, 400 knots, onto Vulcan and Ragnar. Vulcan launches a 120. Ragnar has no 120s left. Wipeout is almost into the bubble. So here's the 120, headed up towards Slide. Slide not defending yet. Missile coming down from 30,000 feet. Slide at 14,000. Slide now defending 5 miles away. Missiles at 1,300 knots. Should not be a problem. So we can see Slide here defending from that incoming munition. He's going to be okay. Slide also, Vulcan, excuse me, also defending on the DCSNZA side. Missile trying to track him is out of energy and falling back now 3 miles behind him. No casualties yet for Team Whatafuck RS. Wipeout has made it into the area, so he's not going to die to the bubble. Ragnar and Vulcan. Ragnar has no weapons left. Vulcan launches another 120. Vulcan only has 2 120s, one 120, and 1 AIM-9 left on his jet, and that 120's headed off towards Fargo. Fargo responds with a 120 of his own. Both these guys now defending. Vulcan breaking left, Fargo breaking left, away from the incoming weapon. I don't think either of these guys are going to go down. Missiles were launched from too far away. Fargo jettisons the tanks, gets rid of those. But Wipeout's going to come in with a full bus. So Wipeout's got 10 AMRAAMs and 2 AIM-9s. Pick up the slack from Ragnar. Batman died with 5 missiles still on his jet. 5. It's not what you want to do. Died early. It's that first pass. Wipeout launches 2 120s. One of those is probably going to be a Macabo. Macabo's the lead aggressor for Team Whatafuck. Launches a 120. He's got 4 left. And neither one of those 120s are on Macabos. He presses in onto Wipeout. He's being very aggressive. 120 out from Macabo onto Wipeout. Wipeout responds with a 120 of his own. We're going to go to split screen so we can see how this is going to develop. Wipeout defending very, very late. Going and taking a look at him. Missile is 3 miles away. Still at Mach 2. 2.1. Closing rapidly. 1 mile. Oh no. Half mile. Wipeout as quickly as he got here is removed from the bubble. Macabo says, I don't care how long you've been here. You've been in here for a minute. You're getting out. And 2 pilots are now remaining for DCSNZA. 4 still for Team Whatafuck. So Ragnar and Vulcan are the only 2 remaining for DCSNZA. Vulcan launching another one. And I got to point out, too, that Wipeout had like 9 missiles still on his jet. He had tons of munitions, and he defended late and paid for it. Creedle says, my bubble! That's right. That's what Macaboo thought. My bubble. Took him down. So Ragnar dragging a 120, banking away. Needs to get rid of those racks. That's just unneeded drag. 4 pilots still remaining for Team Whatafuck. Fargo now coming in from the south, being fairly aggressive. Here's Fargo pressing from the south, launches a 120. That's going to be up at a marking Vulcan. You can see him out there in the distance. So low to high, shot 8,000 to 30,000. Now the missile does have to climb, so I don't give it much chance of reaching Vulcan, especially if he makes a right-hand turn. Ragnar launches an AIM-9 from many miles onto Fargo. And that is just a wasted missile. And I don't even think it tracked. It may have gone after a 120 because I don't even see it on screen. Vulcan's going to be okay, getting away from that threat from Fargo. Now going back to Vulcan. Vulcan's now breaking back into Macabo, and Vulcan only has a 120 left. Macabo has many 120s left. AIM-9 out from Vulcan, 120 out from Macabo, and the energy is going to be to the advantage of Macabo. Vulcan defending low to high, probably wanted to stay high. Missiles rapidly closing, half mile, unwanted facial, goodbye. Vulcan, Macabo gets another kill. And then at the same time, I think we lost one as Slide took down Ragnar down to the south. So looking at TAC view, what happened to Ragnar? Well, Ragnar took a 120 to the face, defended very, very late, actually didn't defend at all, and got domed. It's like he was trying to get what Batman had in the last round, and it didn't work. It did not work. And he got destroyed by the incoming fence post from Slide. Team Whatafuck commandingly wins round 2. Not even worth going back and looking at TAC view. That was a wrecking, a schmammering. And you did not want to be on the receiving side of that if you were DCSNZA. Unfortunately, they were. So let's take a quick break. We will be back with round 3. Now, Team Whatafuck up 1-0 over DCS. That's where it's at. DCSNZA and Team WTF here in the culmination of this Match 2 matchup between two Silver League teams. How's it going to go down? Well, there's two ways. It's either going to end in a draw or Team WTF's going to win. That is what's going to happen. Those are the possibilities for the outcome of this matchup. Where did the other side of this go? Why is it only showing one side to the overlay now? Interesting. Maybe they had an extra pilot? Not entirely sure. It does not want to refresh. Let me restart the overlay here as these guys take off. Does not want to work. Are there 5 planes on one side? Team WTF's got 4. And DCSNZA has 4. So what is going on? It does not want to update. Kagi. Why is it broken? Interesting. Well, it does not want to work. So, we're going to be overlay-less for this round. It is what it is. But these guys are taking off. Who's flying in this round? Let's find out. DCSNZA has Shags, Status, Batman, and Ragnar, 2 14s and 2 16s. And the... not 14s, 2 18s and 2 16s. And they were just seemingly unawares in round 1. It's just, I don't know what was going on. They did so good in round 1. But in round 2, I guess it was the missiles that weren't hitting them, especially on Batman. Especially on Batman, I don't know what happened. But they got annihilated here in round 2. And now we're in round 3. Team WTF, represented by Slide, Makabo, Kikaku, and Fargo. Might be something with the mission also because the announce text was confusing the sides. The announce text, I'm not really worried about it. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but maybe. Maybe. Let me try it one more time after I get rid of the team overlay. Try this one more time to see if it works. Nope, it keeps getting rid of the blue side. I don't know why. It's strange. Unless somebody's got a weird character, but I don't think they do. We're just not going to have it in this round, which is sad, but at least we had it most of the time. These guys are now ingressing. Attack view looks like this. Teams are much more even now on the ingress. Team WTF needs to be more aggressive, in my opinion, and DCSNZA needs to get their head out of their sensors. They got to get their head out of the cockpit, look around. They keep getting caught way too deep and way too unawares against their opponents. They died numerous times defending way too late against deadly threats. Somebody, Halliburton says, hi, I'm completely new here and I have no idea what's going on. Just want to say the casting's on point. Just watch the last screen. This is the coolest shit ever. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. glad you enjoy it, even though you have no idea what's going on. Are you familiar with DCS? That's the next question. You know what DCS is? Do you have any interest in military flight or flight in general, for that matter? Teams look much more equal coming into bullseye, so I don't anticipate the bubble being a factor here. For anybody that doesn't know, this is what the bubble looks like. If you enter the bubble, you cannot leave. If you leave the bubble, you die. No questions asked, unless you kill everyone on the other team. This is your prison. This is your bedlam. You have to kill everyone in this on the other team before you're allowed to leave. If you leave before that, well, sorry, you're dead. I know of it, just downloaded to try, but not familiar with military flight sims. It's worth a shot. Don't get disheartened by it. It's got a very steep learning curve. Very steep learning curve. Just go with it. Try and meet people that you can learn from. That would be my biggest advice to you. My greatest advice is that use others to learn from instead of YouTube and trying to figure things out on your own, because it's a lot easier to have somebody hold your hand through something a few times and learn how to do it than trying to learn from a video. It's also a lot more fun. Finally, a lot of those videos are wrong. I'll tell you that. Especially in PvP combat and stuff. Man, some of the stuff that some of those guys suggest will get you killed almost every single time. At least at a higher level. I mean, I don't know. I've watching some of those videos, and I don't know who, just some of the stuff that is said in those videos is coming from people that probably fight AI. Which is fine. I am not coming down on anybody that fights AI. That's your game. That's your game. Just some of the stuff you do on either side, PvP or AI, the AI is not a very good opponent at all. So don't try and train against them because they're terrible. Kakaku launches a couple 120s onto Shags and Batman. Batman and Shags respond with 2 120s apiece. So many more AMRAMs. Well, not, because they reverse sides. So DCSNZA is a lot more loose with their munition expenditure. Kakaku defending appropriately, diving away. Good job by him. Up to the north, Fargo getting a little bit late on the defense, but he's at Mach 1.4. Missiles at Mach 1.5. Where is it? It's not going to matter. It's trying to connect with him, but he's way too fast, Mach 1.3, and he's broken the lock on the other one. The other one may have killed him. The other missile on TAC view, this one, was at Mach 2 when Fargo was back here and the missile was here, and it lost track and went up this way. If it was a previous generation AMRAM, that may have killed him. So defend a little bit earlier than that, because that missile had some guts. It just lost track and then reacquired, and that was just because he came through that bank turn degree and it did whatever the missiles do right now and lost track of him. Slide, picking up the mantle for Team Whatafuck. He's got all 3 tanks, 4 sticks left on his jet. He's launched one. It goes up towards Ragnar. Ragnar in the F-18, the man that launched all of his weapons very early in the last round, is much lower now. Still 3 tanks on his jet. Did not take 10 missiles this time. Only has 6. Chaff out, launched a 120, missiles 4 miles away. Missiles at Mach 1.5, so he doesn't need to notch this. He could just out-energy it. But even the notch is going to out-energy it, and I think it lost track regardless. So missile mayhem down here to the south. Batman running away from 2 AMRAMs. Batman was one of the guys that got substituted out in the previous round. He's got 2 tanks on. 1 missile left for Batman. Only 1 120 left on Batman's jet. That is going to be a problem if they make it into the late game. Now going back up to Ragnar. Ragnar, 3 120s, 2 AIM-9s. These guys are spending 120s like it's going out of style. And if this match continues to go, they're just not going to have the munitions to fight back. 120 now coming up onto Vulcan. Vulcan already in a pretty decent notch. Going split screen because Ragnar just put a 120 out onto Slide, but Slide is turned away already, and that missile's not going to have the juice to connect with him. Vulcan's Mach 1.2. He's going to be fine. Down to the south, Macabo trying to make something happen, make sure the cameras are lined up. Fast forward that. So Macabo trying to make something happen against Shags, excuse me. He's low. 4 sticks still on his jet. 2 drop tanks still on there. Batman now being very aggressive down here to the south in his F-16, and he's launched his last missile on a cold target, Kikaku. That's not going to reach him. Kikaku's just going to drive away from this. Kikaku's here. Center line still on his jet. Now, Kikaku only has 1 missile left, but you see the missile over Kikaku's shoulder, 2.7 miles back. Missiles at Mach 1, and Kikaku's over Mach 1. Not going to catch him ever. It's just not. Never going to happen. Now Batman being pressed by Fargo. Fargo off to his right, 4 miles. This is going to be a low to a little bit higher shot. Missile 2.5 miles away. Are we going to see the same near misses on Batman with him pulling his gadgets out of his aircraft? 0.9, 0.8, closing. Mach 1.3, it's out of energy. It's not going to track him. So good defense there by Batman. I like the Batman now recognizing missiles out of energy, pulls back into it. Not a factor. Now, DCSNZA, they've got some advantages here, but they don't have any weapons. Why? Why do you not have any weapons? Slide now launching onto Batman. Batman, that's right in front of him. What? Why? How does that happen? Slide's got like a repulsor shield on his jet as things just fly harmlessly by his aircraft. Shags now defending an incoming 120. That's right there as he line is sighted. It's gonna be close. Yes, he line is sighted. Another missile coming up onto Batman. Batman has recommitted into it. 1.3 miles away, and this is gonna do the same thing. Goodbye, right behind Batman's jet, and Batman gives no shits. Just flying headlong in here against everyone. Doesn't care that he's being launched on at all. So we're going to stick with him in this scenario. Now trying to run down Fargo, but he's got no weapons left. Kikaku's off to his left, right there, flying by him. Kikaku doesn't see him. He may now, as Kikaku recommits behind him. And Macabo and Slide are now recommitting behind Batman as well. So there is Fargo in front. Batman trying to run him down. He has no weapons. Could have been an easy kill. 120 off from Slide. So Slide put the 120 out. It's going to be on Batman. Batman needs to defend more aggressively. And it didn't track. Vulcan got taken down by Slide. Pause this and look at the overall picture. All right, so here's the picture. Vulcan just got taken down in this ridiculous whatever this is. There's crap. This should never happen. Nobody should merge with this many jets and people not dying rapidly. I mean, Batman not having any weapons left. Dude, Fargo should have been dead 5 minutes ago. So now you got Kikaku coming on Shags. So we'll watch that. So here's that one. And then we'll put another one onto... Who else are we going to watch? Okay, we'll do that one. Fargo, Macabo on Batman. And then we'll do Slide, I guess, on Ragnar. Can we do that? We cannot. So we'll do that in a minute. Put all 3 up. And here we go. So here's what everything looks like. Ragnar coming in from the north, Slide turning it onto him. Kikaku behind Shags, Batman behind Fargo. Missile out from Slide. That's going to be on Ragnar. Ragnar on camera 3, bottom left, is going to have a hard time defending that. He gets taken down. So now split screen. Batman's just haphazardly shooting at Fargo. Now breaks off. Missile from Macabo. Upper on the right side. That's going to be on to Batman. I don't think he gets away from that one unless a miracle happens, though. He finally gets hit. And now we've got Kikaku coming in on his Shags, and I don't think Kikaku has any missiles left. Trying to close. Coming up and over. 590 knots on Kikaku. What do we have on Shags? Oh, it doesn't matter because Shags' wing gets separated from his aircraft and Kikaku notches one on his belt. Slide gets two, one against Vulcan, one against Ragnar. Macabo finally takes down the elusive Batman, and Kikaku takes down Shags, and that is it. Rumrunner, what happened to the overlay? It wasn't working on this match, this round for some reason, so we're going to come back to it after the completion of this match. We got a whole nother match coming after this one's done. So tack view here. What happened? What happened? Why are there only 3? Did one of the guys from Team What the Fuck die? Who died? So Batman did take down Fargo with the guns kill right there. We missed that. I didn't see that. But just a merge with... How many people are in this merge? 7. 7 people are in this furball. Why? I don't know, but it is mayhem. Ragnar gets things started after Batman takes down... No, before. So Slide gets things started, taking down Ragnar. Batman then takes down Fargo. And then you've got Macabo taking down Batman with the 120. And that's actually the closest one to being properly notched, but it doesn't get notched. God, that's weird. And then guns kill from Kikaku. And that closes us out here in round 3, giving Team What the Fuck RS the match victory over DCSNZA. We got more, ladies and gentlemen. This match may be over, but we move now to Diamond League. Harpia taking on SPQR Diamond League 4v4. I'm excited for this one. These are 2 veterans. SPQR is new this year, but they're not veteran. Excuse me. They're not new pilots. Oh, tickle in my throat. So that's where we go now. I'm going to get the supercut here real quick from my man, Alpha Whiskey. Download it. But congratulations to Team What the Fuck coming back against DCSNZA, and Batman had some gadgets on his plane. I have no idea what was going on there, why a lot of those missiles were not hitting Batman, but they weren't. For what reason, I have no idea. No clue. They would just fly by him, and nothing would hit. Nothing would connect. Not sure why. Jamming devices in the cockpit or something. The F-16 doesn't have a jammer, so I can't blame ECM or them cheating. It was just missiles weren't connecting. No idea why. NZA Trench Feet says, good fight. What the fuck later, dudes. Oh, and we actually, before we go anywhere, Kikaku, let me grab him. We're going to start our interviews if he's around. Let me see if he's around. All right, let's do this. So, guys, we're going to bring in Kikaku, who is one of the guys fighting for Team What the Fuck. He's going to give us a breakdown of how that match went against DCSNZA, and then we will move on to Diamond League. So stick around, see what these guys have to say, and then we will move on to Diamond League SPQR against Harpia. But let's bring in Kikaku and see what he's got going on. Kikaku, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am good. Let me bring...
One second. Let me mute the stream. Just don't want the feedback.
Down.
There we go.
Let me turn you down.
Bright and early in California?
It's not that early, is it?
No. I'm just complaining because it's a weekend, and I like complaining.
Yeah, sorry, Weasel. He was a little bit loud coming in there. I needed to turn him down. I apologize about that. Wish I could stick around, says Holly, but it's 3 a.m. here. I'll catch the rest later. Dude, thanks for coming and checking us out. Much appreciated. But Kikaku, what was your guys' – we're just going to jump right into this. What was your guys' game plan coming in against DCSNZA? I mean, did you have any thoughts about how they were going to fly? Because DCSNZA is a new team. Did we lose you? Well, this isn't starting well. If he's talking. Kikaku. Hello. Well, he's not even here now, Lumen Ghost. Give him just a minute to come back. Not sure why. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
There we go. Sorry, I don't know why my microphone just randomly decided to disconnect. Sorry, you asked what our game plan was. It was basically to play good fundamentals. Split into two ships and run a grinder to split the match in half, and try not to get target fixated and penetrate too deeply.
Do you feel that you executed that?
I think we did. I think we were a little bit confused as to why our missiles weren't connecting. I mean,
I'm confused about that as well.
We didn't know if it was because they were just amazing at notching or there was something up with the missiles. But I think at the end of the last round, everyone was pretty much Winchester, and we just had to, go guns or merge or. I think that's why we ended up in a 7-plane furball at the end.
Yeah, that was something to behold. Now, DCSNZA also seemed to be expending a lot of weapons. Did that put you guys on any type of back foot, or were you guys okay with that amount of missiles being fired? Did you think, hey, they're just not going to have anything late game? What was your guys' mindset on that?
In the match itself, I didn't realize they had fired that many missiles. I think it was just that we tended to out-energy them. We didn't end up notching a lot of those missiles, so it wasn't that sort of pressure of having to fly in the precise sort of heading. So by out-energying them, we sort of would be able to take out or trash 2 or 3 missiles at a time. So it didn't seem like a lot of pressure at the time, but it was only on the attack view when I realized they literally fired 9 missiles in the air at a time.
Well, Ragnar had launched 8 missiles in the span of 60 seconds in match 2, in round 2. That was quite a lot. So let's talk a little bit about round 1. So round 1, if I remember correctly, it was Batman and Fargo that came down in the end. What was your guys' mindset at the end of round 1? I mean, was it demoralizing at all that went to a tie? Was it demoralizing at all that none of your missiles were connecting? I mean, take me through what that was like and what you guys were feeling during the merge with Fargo and Batman, and then what your guys' plan was or what you guys were telling each other moving from round 1 draw into round 2. Because it seemed like a totally different team that showed up in round 2 than what was there in round 1 initially.
So, to be honest, we're on Waterfuck, and Waterfuck is made up of a set of experienced players and a set of fairly new players, and we're the new players. So I think there was a fair amount of jitters going into the first round because this was the first time, for example, that I had done match banning or map banning and things like that. So I think we were a little bit nervous going to the first round, and I think. We hadn't really taken into account the missile behavior because I think, for example, I get killed from a 1 mile or less shot after Batman went through 3 or 4, head-on missile shots. And I think we ended up in that 1v1 situation because we just didn't take into account sort of the pacifist nature of the 120s in that update.
Right. Now, when you say pacifist in nature, just to provide context for anybody that doesn't know, the 120s underwent an update it was the beginning of October, wasn't it? Sometime.
Yeah.
and they added some stuff. And you guys have heard me talk about this a couple times, more than a couple. But they added some stuff, but it broke something in the AMRAAM's guidance logic where if you turn and keep turning in front of the missile, especially at cold aspect when the missile's behind you, it just loses you and it can't hit you. So if you're turning away from the missile in a certain degree, and it seemed like Batman had it mastered, which I can't fault him for. I mean, it's part of the meta, that the missile just won't hit you. So that's what was happening, I think, with Batman. And what I think you're saying is that you guys, when did you guys fly this match? When did it actually take place? Shortly after that update?
Yes, it was it was actually November 6th when we flew the match. So it wasn't shortly after the update, but it was we were hoping for you know, a newer patch. So the missile behavior for us wasn't consistently bad. It was sort of hit or miss. And I think that's why maybe it had to do with the ping times or something. But maybe. In this match particularly, versus our practices, for example, the missiles were behaving, you know, uniquely bizarre.
I mean, it could have been ping, but I think being on the U.S. servers, a lot of the guys would have pretty consistent pings, and Australia would be somewhere in the 100s, so I wouldn't think it would be too bad.
But so I definitely, it was definitely nerve-wracking waiting, because, you know, as soon as we get killed, we got kicked, you know, out of the map, and we just had to sit there and listen to Fargo, and I think it was Batman BFMing, and, you know, each one of us has our strong points and weak points, and I know Fargo, like me, is new to PvP, and I don't know if he's a huge expert at BFM. For example, Slide, coming from Falcon BMS, is, you know, BFM is his wheelhouse, so it would have been great to have Slide do BFM. But Fargo, you know, he held in there, and I think he had a good missile shot that didn't track near the end, and it just sort of it sucked that, you know, it went to a draw when we had like a 3v1 or 3v2 advantage. But we sort of had to just regroup, take a breath, and stick to our game plan. And I think we did that in the second and third round, despite, you know, getting hit with 8 or 9 AMRAAMs at once.
Right. Well, you guys didn't get hit. They just sent him that way. So, well,
right.
thanks. I won't keep it any longer. We got to move on to match 2, but I appreciate you jumping in here, giving us some insight on how that all went down, what your guys' mindset was, the beginning of that. I know I enjoyed. I hope the viewers enjoy it, getting some intimate knowledge of that, getting to meet some of the pilots and talk about what actually transpired during that match, and hopefully we'll be able to do more of these. I don't know if the next winners for the next match are around. I think we were going to start this on Monday, so we'll just have to see where this goes. But I appreciate you, Kikaku, coming in here and taking the time to talk to us. So congratulations on them.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, congratulations on the match win. Tell your guys, great job, and I look forward to seeing you guys fly here more in the future.
Thanks.
Yep. Have a good one. All right, guys, this is where we end for match 1. Now we're going to move on to match 2. I need to turn myself down here just a little bit. So now we're going to move on to match 2, which is going to be Diamond League 4v4 SPQR against Harpia. Now, I'm expecting a little bit different styles of play here. SPQR are newcomers to the competitive scene. Harpia is not, but they are newcomers to Diamond League, though they are not newcomers to 4v4. So stick around. We're going to take about 10 minutes to get ready for the next match. Supercut should be ready to go. I should play that here in just a moment. But don't go anywhere. If you need to go get something to drink, say hi to the family, bring in more people to watch, whatever. Match 2 will get started here in about 10 minutes. Diamond League 4v4 SPQR against Harpia. and gentlemen, it's match 2-time Harpia against SPQR Diamond League 4v4. Let's just jump into it right now, shall we? Here we go. Getting ready to take off is Harpia Derby. And he's got, who else is, Garrick? Is that over the top of him? Is that who's there? Yeah, that is Garrick in the F-18, F-16 there from Harpia. Meanwhile, we've got SPQR F-15. This must have been pre-tank ban on the F-15 when the tanks broke on the Eagle. Because he's got tanks on. So this must have been done a while ago. So F-16, 15, and 214 for SPQR. Big time range advantage coming for SPQR over Harpia. Let's see who is flying in today's matchup. That is not the right one. I need to go grab those real quick. Sitting here doing nothing while the stream's getting ready to start, and I don't put up the team graphics. There we go. SPQR, 216s, 214s, the Moose Marauder, Alpha Gator, Praetorian, and the Gopnik Tsar coming for SPQR. And then we've got Harpia, Trigger, Mazzucato, Garrick, and Derby. 2 18s, a 14, and a 16. Now, it's something, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why SPQR's liveries aren't showing up. They're not broken. It just doesn't look like they're working on this particular side. Maybe they work on the other side, on the blue team, and they don't work on the red team. Not sure why they're not showing up here right now on this side for SPQR, but they do have liveries. They do have liveries. Shifty Mover, F-14. It's like he likes the F-14 or something, Shifty does. And the overlay does work now. So something was going on there in match 3, or in round 3 of match 1, with the mission causing the overlay to freak out. And I don't really know why, but something was going on. The line Helen go burr. If that's what that means, unless BR is an acronym for something that I don't know. It may be, because I'm not the most in it person, if you will. Now, where is this mission taking place? So this mission is Kataisi against Tbilisi. So Growling Sidewinder. Growling Sidewinder. Mission location. So most people should be very familiar with how this is set up. Trigger says, keep an eye on Mazzucato on the first commit. Okay. Aaron says, let's go AWEX! AWEX is a underrated player. Anomaly says Brazil. I think Harpia is Argentina? No, they are Brazil. All right, what do I know? I don't know anything, evidently. They are ingressing. Fairly even on takeoff departures from Tbilisi and Kataisi. The F-14s, though, for SPQR are very, very late. SMH. What does SMH mean? And, dude, I don't know what happened with the liveries. They're not broken. They just don't show up. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're on the other team, because if they were broken, you'd get the broken texture, wouldn't you? Maybe the F-14 doesn't do that. Your kids in your shorthand? Dude, I don't know shorthand. I know some of it, but I'm not all that knowledgeable on it, because the F-16s, the F-15s, the F-15 doesn't have it. Does the F-16 have it? The F-16 doesn't have it, and they're not broken, so I don't know why they're not showing up. I mean, a broken, missing textures and stuff in DCS, they show up with that whatever camo thing. Sorry, just responding to a text. These guys are ingressing, going back and taking a look at the overall attack view. Gopnik Czar and Moose Marauder are leading the way, and Gopnik Czar is in the F-15, and he is barreling. I mean, he is cooking. He is a mother trucker on a mission. I mean, look at this guy. Mach 1.5, 530 knots indicated, 30,000 feet. Show the Harpia F-14. There's two of them. So Oh, Harpia F-14. All right. What? Mazzucato? What are you doing? What are you doing? What a loser. Lahu Zahar. I mean, dude. He's probably sitting here thinking like, why can't I go faster? This jet sucks. DCS. My crew chief gave me a crap plane. My engines are garbage. And takes the gears down. Forgot to pull the pants up, says Koraz. And indeed he did. Mazzucato, what is this? You are better than this. You are better than this. Karza says, tanks on from the F-15. So I think what happened is the F-15 may have been flying. This match may have happened before the tanks were broken, before that patch. So just be aware, it may have not have been banned when this match took place. And he's not going Mach 3. So he's going 500 knots indicated. He's at Mach 1.5, which is totally appreciable for the F-15. So I don't think he's doing anything outside of doing anything wrong. I don't know when this match was flown. Gopnik, do you know? Or Harpia, do you know when this match took place? And by no means in SPQR or Harpia am I saying anybody cheated. I'm just trying to alleviate chat to know that he's not cheating. It was just what happened. So Mazzucato now has an AIM-54 coming for his face from Alpha Gator. And he's cooking. He's trying. He's trying to do something. 24,000 feet. Aaron says it's a tactic. It's a intimidation display that we're seeing right here. There is that AMRAM. Mazzucato still has his gear down. Oh, and he gets ramrodded. Oh, the misery. The gear down, and now he's waffling without any wings. Engines on fire. Oh, he deserved that one. Oh, he deserved that one. Alpha Gator obliterates Mazzucato. And Mazzucato goes down in a shower of flames. Moose Marauder now breaking away from an incoming AMRAM from Garrick. Gopnik Czar recommitting Mach 1.25. So Gopnik Czar is all about the airspeed right now. 26,000 feet, no center line, still has the wing tanks. Still on, no, he needs to get, Gopnik, get rid of the damn wing tanks. You're on internal fuel, brother. There you go. It's like he was listening to me. It's like he could hear me from the other side. But Gopnik gets rid of him, accelerates rapidly up to Mach 1.5. Two more Phoenix out from Praetorian and Alpha Gator. Here they are respectively. Here's one of them as it cooks in, and here is the other. So both these are rapidly coming in on Derby, it looks like. Maybe Garrick and Trigger, but Garrick and Trigger are both already notching. So Garrick and Trigger are back here, and they are both in the notch. So showing you guys everything. Here is Garrick. Garrick recommitting into this Phoenix, into the telephone pole. AIM-54 from Praetorian at 18,000 feet, Mach 2.5. And they're actually both on Trigger. So Trigger is cold, and that missile's not going to track in any way, shape, or form. Trigger electing not to take wing tanks. That's interesting. So Trigger not taking wing tanks, not putting the dual racks on the pylons further out from where he's got them. That's interesting. Is there a drag, that big of a drag reduction when you do that, Trigger? I'm not sure, but interesting choice there. AIM-54 slams into the ground, becoming Ninja Squirrel fodder. 2 more AIM-54s coming out from Praetorian and Alpha Gator. Not sure who those are going to be on. Let's take a look at the F-14s from SPQR. Here is Praetorian. He's got 4 AIM-54s and 2 AIM-9s left on his jet, so he's launched both of the wing pylon ones. Still has his tanks on. Probably needs to get rid of him because he is on internal gas. Now we've got a AIM-120 coming in onto Derby, and Derby diving away, trying to get to the ground. Gets into a notch. Where's the 120? It's going to be on his lift vector there. It is 1 mile away, and he doesn't have the juice to be able to pull up into him. So great recognition and out-energying that missile. 3 pilots still remaining for Harpia, 4 for SPQR. 2 Tomcats for SPQR, and none after Mazzucato got schmammered by the incoming telephone pole. Another AIM-54 out from Alpha Gator down here to the south. Here is that AIM-54 as it tries to connect with Trigger's aircraft. Trigger on the receiving end of that AIM-54, who is here trying to drive away. He's still got all of his AMRAMs and AIM-9s. The only thing he's done is jettison the center line tank. 120 out from the Moose Marauder onto Garrick, meanwhile, here in the center, as Trigger is going to be fine getting away from that missile. Garrick now being passed by Derby. Derby coming in onto Praetorian. Praetorian in a right-to-left flank in front of Derby's nose. AIM-54, we see the smoke trail from the launching aircraft onto Garrick, and here's Garrick having just line-of-sighted that incoming munition. You can see the smoke trail there. He line-of-sighted it into that hill. Derby now breaking away after pursuing Praetorian and pushing him back. And we've got one more SPQR, the F-15 from SPQR, Gopnik Tsar up there to the north. Let's see what he's doing. So F-15 Gopnik Tsar still pretty high, 26,000 feet, 530 knots, Mach 1.3. How's he doing on fuel? He's down to 50%. So he's definitely the lowest because he's been up in gate the entire time. He needs to be pretty aggressive. He's launched 2 AMRAMs so far, got 4 left and 2 AIM-9s. Garrick now pressing against him in his F-18. Here's Garrick, 120 from the Gopnik Tsar onto Garrick. Garrick launches one of his own, so let's go to split screens. These guys will both have to defend. Mach 1.55 for Gopnik Tsar as he dives away from that incoming missile. Missile from him onto Garrick is almost at Mach 3, Mach 2.75, 4 miles behind Garrick, and it's going to run out of steam as it tries to close the gap and actually runs into the ground. So Gopnik Tsar able to get away from his threat, Garrick able to do the same for his, and we've moved into this stagnant position between SPQR and Harpia after Mazzucato got taken down in the opening salvo. Trigger now for Harpia, lead combatant for HRP, trying to press. He's got all of his AMRAMs still on. What's his fuel state? 3/4, so plenty of fuel. Now breaking away, not wanting to overcommit. Alpha Gator may launch something onto him. We got an AIM-54 from Praetorian. So AIM-54 from the north, from Praetorian, onto, it looks like, onto Trigger. Here's that AIM-54, 2,100 knots, still on boost, 9,500 feet, rapidly closing onto Trigger. Trigger trying to make something happen here. Trigger defending, upper right corner, and it flew over his head. So he line-of-sighted it. Great job there. Was able to get away from it. Great defense. 120 now out from Garrick onto Alpha Gator. Alpha Gator trying to line-of-sight it low. And the Gopnik Tsar, meanwhile, is going to be passing overhead of that 120, being very aggressive, coming down from altitude, trying to get things started once again after dispatching Mazzucato for SPQR. 120 now out from the Gopnik Tsar onto Derby. This is going to be a really aggressive defensive flurry here from both sides. Missiles are going to be very close. They're going to have to notch both sides, and they do. Missile actually maybe on Garrick. No, it's not on either of these guys. So they do a good job of defending Derby. Oh, Garrick is having to defend. Here's Garrick defending that incoming AMRAM, and he line of sight. No, it's very close. Wow, flying formation with him. Trying, it smells him, but it just can't connect. So Gopnik Czar gets very unlucky. Fast-launched missile. Garrick does just enough to get away from that thing. Just barely enough. I mean, it was within feet of his jet. But he's able to get away with it. And without it going boom, boom, Garrick lives to fight another day. Now Trigger recommitting down to the south against Alpha Gator. Here is Trigger in the F-18. Has not launched a missile yet. There's the first one. And it's on Alpha Gator. Launches two, the double shot. I actually really like that. Double shot from Trigger onto Alpha Gator. Alpha Gator waited to get a missile off on its own. It's too late. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, and the second one. What a double shot. That's why you shoot two. Delayed as Alpha Gator, we can find him, there he was. Alpha Gator gets hit by the second missile. The double delayed shot by Trigger pays off. Alpha Gator tries to get an AIM-9 off, but it doesn't work, and Alpha Gator's in pieces. Great shot by Trigger. The double pays off. Garrick now launching an AIM-120 at Praetorian. Derby now recommitting in onto Gopnik Czar. Gopnik Czar low. Praetorian. AIM-54 coming in on a Trigger. We need to watch this one. Oh, and it flies notched right by Trigger's front. Here is Gopnik Czar merging with Derby, or trying to run him down. So Gopnik Czar trying to run him down. Garrick now recommitting in onto Gopnik Czar. Here's Garrick. Gopnik Czar head on with Garrick, having to defend 120 underside of Gopnik Czar's aircraft, and takes him down. Gopnik Czar obliterated. Things started to go poorly for SPQR. Moose Marauder, now the lead combatant, is F-16 against a 3-ship from Harpia. Harpia's been aggressive, they've been fast, and they've made their missiles do some work. Derby now dragging an AIM-54. We can see the AIM-54 still burning back there, loses track at the last moment, and just flies by Derby's aircraft and detonates in the Georgian countryside. Moose Marauder now turning in or running away from Trigger. Where's Trigger? Trigger's back there somewhere. There's Trigger. Missile from Trigger from 3 miles. Moose Marauder's not going to be able to out-energy this. Needs to notch it. Does no such thing. Ballistic enema. Here it comes. And there it's not. Missile flies right by Moose Marauder. Stumbled over myself there briefly as I didn't know quite what to say. AIM-9 now out from Praetorian. On to Trigger. Trigger. No, it goes into the ground. So we're going to follow along with Trigger and Moose Marauder here in split screen, watching both these two guys remaining. Garrick launches onto Moose Marauder, and that's going to be onto his nose. There's the missile from 3 miles, and it misses. Barely. What is going on? Another one from Moose Marauder. There's one onto Derby. Derby needs to be careful. Missile onto Derby. Here he is. Is he going to line of sight it? That goes down. Oh, and Praetorian got hit up to the north. So Moose Marauder is the only one left. Praetorian gets hammered by Trigger, and that means that Derby's the only one remaining. Let me fix tac view here. Moose Marauder, the only one left. Merge now with Trigger. Missile out from Trigger on Moose Marauder. Is he going to be able to notch it? It's an AIM-9. You ain't notching that, baby. And it takes him down. Great end of the round by Harpia. There to close it out after Mazzucato tried to show the dominance with his gear down. And Alpha Gator said, I'm not having any of that, and took him to Plowtown. Just goodbye, went Mazzucato. Krasbergus. Wish.com AMRAMs. They sure do seem like it, don't they? Let's check out the tac view and see how that all went down. What an interesting round. It's Mazzucato. What are you doing? That was a long round. Mazzucato doesn't do anything. It's like he's accepted his fate. Beep. Taken down. And then nothing happens for 7 minutes. Both teams very defensive. Nobody overcommitting. Trigger then takes down Alpha Gator down here to the south. And if this was an AIM 54 instead of an AIM 9 out of PAL, AIM 54 out of PAL, Trigger could be dead. But because it was an AIM 9 and Trigger flared, it didn't work. And because Trigger double tapped. So Alpha Gator got through with the notch on the first one, but the second one found him. Great choice to double tap by Trigger. I don't normally advocate that, but if you space them like that, it can definitely work because they don't know they're getting tracked by 2 missiles necessarily. So Trigger gets us started. Then Derby takes down the Gopnik Tsar on the recommit. 120 to the face. And Gopnik Tsar was just dead. You can't notch 2 missiles from different directions. Garrick puts one on him. Another 120 from Derby. He notches the one from Garrick, but falls the one from Derby. So great job shooting from different directions. Then Praetorian gets taken down by... Who did he get taken down by? By Trigger up here to the north. Not going to out energy at that close of range, 120. And then Moose Marauder gets gangbanged by Harpia. Flies headlong into Trigger, and Trigger doesn't launch an AIM 120, launches an AIM 9. And Moose Marauder wasn't expecting that. Moose Marauder gets taken down, giving Harpia the round 1 victory here against SPQ. Jumping back into the action, Kataisi against Tbilisi, Harpia against SPQR. Harpia up 1-0 after a commanding victory in round 1. Harpia started slow with Mazzucato getting wrecked with his gear down. Oh my God. Your gear was down, Mazzucato. Why? And then you defended so late in like a drunken stupor. It's like you didn't know what to do. What happened? What happened in that engagement? We need a call sign for Mazzucato. Anybody have any ideas? Derby departing for Harpia. Let's again take a look at who is flying for both teams. SPQR, the Moose Marauder, Alpha Gator, Praetorian, and the Gopnik Tsar. 2 16s and 2 18s, 2 16s and 2 14s, respectively. And then Harpia, Trigger, Mazzucato, Garrick, and Derby. 2 18s, a 16, and a 14. So much more asynchronous lineup for Harpia in comparison to SPQR. But SPQR definitely has the range advantage, and they also have the speed advantage given the F-15. I'm not flying a 16, says Gopnik Tsar. Yeah, I think it was a mistake on the logos. Just deal with it, Gopnik Tsar. Just deal with it. Shifty Mover says Mazzucato's new nickname needs to be Harpia Wheels Up. Click with the wrong button on the lever, which was the emergency gear down, and the rest was shit show. So if emergency gear down, does that mean it doesn't come back up at all? I think you're just trying to make excuses. That's what I personally think. Excuses, excuses, excuses. And Gopnik Tsar, I'm just giving you crap. It does not come back up. Okay. Well, it's still your fault. Or, when in doubt, you could just blame your Rio. Why didn't you blame your Rio? That's what you're supposed to do. Something goes wrong as a pilot, blame the Rio. Wasn't my fault. Rio did it. I couldn't reach him. Trying to smack him in the back seat. Couldn't do anything. He's back there doing shit he shouldn't be doing. The Line Helen comes in with the Prime sub and the gifts one to the community. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Jazz Solis for making that happen. For everybody that knows or doesn't know, if you've got Prime connected with Twitch, you get a free sub every month, but you got to use it. It doesn't automatically renew. So you got to make sure you use it every month here or somewhere else. Just use it because otherwise it's lost. Hi, Sloan. Oh, you got your turkey? Oh. My daughter just got a new dollhouse, and she's very excited about it. She had to come in and show me. These guys are ingressing. Harpia is up 1-0 over SPQR. Chuck says, of course it was Camper's fault. Well, yeah, it's always the Rhea. Always the Rhea. Harpia being led by Garrick and Derby, followed by Trigger and Mazzucato. The Gopnik Czar and Marauder are leading the way, meanwhile, for SPQR. Reminder, action area is Kataisi against Tbilisi. Gopnik Czar says, here it comes. Here what comes. Here what comes. Don't leave me hanging. Derby's only got the center line tank on. Robski comes in with the prime sub. Done so for the last 7 months. Thank you very much. Harpia is not all that high. Harpia must really fear the F-14s. The F-14s or SPQR are in the back. So here's Alpha Gator. Is there a rule for F-14 Rios human only? You can do both. Gianluca, you can do either. There's no rule this year. We got rid of that because Jester turned out to be a big pile of poo in comparison to a human Rio after people got things figured out. The only reason we were hesitant about that at the beginning was because he's able to spot missiles that normal people can't see, so he does some weird things like, hey, missile, 12 o'clock, low, and it's like underneath your jet. He's got X-ray vision. Mach 1 point, what? What is this? Mach 1.9. With 3 tanks. We sure this wasn't bugged? Multiple 120s out from the Gopnik missile. Inbound for Garrick and Derby. 3 out. Garrick and Derby are probably going to be the recipients of this one. Here's Garrick. Here's Mazzucato. And who's the other one on? And here's Derby. So here's all of them. Wyatt says the F-15 is still bugged. The tanks don't slow it down. This is before the last patch on Thursday. So this is pre that patch. Gopnik Czar says I had a bug in this instance. So you did have the bug in this instance where you were able to go that fast. Mach 1.9. Match score, right now Harpia is up 1-0. Dot Wallop asks, why is Mazzucato's gear up? Mazzucato, why is your gear up? Oh, so that was the bug. Your radar was still looking at him. That's weird. You're just full of surprises, Czar. Just full of them. SPQR has since turned around. And what is going on with this 120? Why is it going backwards? Because it's Harpia's 120. Why is it going backwards? I'll have to look at that attack view after the match. 120 now, or aim 54, out from Alpha Gator, up to the north. Here's Alpha Gator from SPQR, still has his tanks on. Mazzucato and Alpha Gator, the only ones on internal gas. There's the aim 54 as it goes up towards Mazzucato in the F-14. Here's Mazzucato. Can we see that aim 54 yet? It's going to be on his left side. Don't see it yet. Still a ways out there. Mazzucato thinking about breaking back in. Still pretty high. Another AIM-54 coming off from Praetorian this time, and a third one. So 2 off from Praetorian, 1 from Alpha Gator. And they all look like they're on Mazzucato. Mazzucato's turned around. Garrick has also turned around. Derby and Trigger down to the south have also turned around. So everyone from Harpia is cold, and everyone from SPQR is hot. So this is not a place that Harpia wants to be in at all. Lead AIM-54 is down to Mach 1.5. It is on Garrick. Garrick's going to be okay. Mazzucato now recommitting into the face of 2 incoming Phoenix. He's getting the missile warnings probably now. Doing a little bit of a serpentine. Missiles at 15,000 and 28,000 respectively. Missile closest to him at Mach 1.5 is probably the one we need to be most worried about. Another Phoenix from Alpha Gator. There's a marking Gopnik-Zar up there at Mach 2. Mach 2 for Gopnik-Zar. Mazzucato still pressing. Mazzucato launches an AIM-54. Not sure who that one's going to be on. You got to think somebody's going to be trying to shoot at the Gopnik-Zar with his 3 tanks on over Mach 2, and this has got to be the bug. Mazzucato launches another AIM-54, breaks away rapidly, but he's got 2 incoming Phoenix. And Praetorian and Alpha Gator have been dead set on trying to take Mazzucato down. So there's one of the AIM-54. That's going to be the trailer at 22,000 feet, Mach 4. Mazzucato's AIM-54 is not tracking, meanwhile. Mazzucato's got to be careful about this AIM-54 that's 4.5 miles away. Mazzucato's Mach 0.9, and I don't think either of these are going to track. No, they are not. But Alpha Gator and Praetorian seem to be dead set on taking down Alpha Gator. And I'm taking down Mazzucato. Here's Alpha Gator jettisoning those fuselage tanks. Mazzucato now recommitting. Back in. No, he's breaking away now. There's a fight developing down here to the south. The Moose Marauder having launched onto Derby. Derby driving away from this incoming AMRAAM. I think he's going to be all right. Now Trigger picking up the mantle and recommitting in onto Moose Marauder. Here's Trigger as he tries to come in on Moose Marauder. 120 out from Trigger onto Moose Marauder. No, he hasn't launched yet. That was an AIM-54 from Alpha Gator. There goes the AIM-54 from Alpha Gator, and Mazzucato needs to probably do something about this incoming higher altitude AIM-54, still accelerating 15,000 feet. Mach 3. Mazzucato's at 10,000 feet. Coming up on Mach 3. Mazzucato may get run down by this. Trying to light his sight. It's directly behind him. Don't come up. It's still going to see him. Half mile. Imminent face mount. Goodbye, Mazzucato. And Alpha Gator and Praetorian are finally able to take down Mazzucato once more. Mazzucato in both rounds, the first to succumb to incoming Fat Phoenix. And Mazzucato dies here again in round 2. So Garrick defeats an incoming munition, now getting pressed by Gopnik-Zar in the ballistic F-15. It's a 3v2 down here to the south. Garrick, I think he sees Gopnik-Zar up there, up above him at 18,000 feet. Missile onto Trigger. Trigger here on camera 3 needs to notch this, as I don't think he's going to have the energy to out-energy it, and he notched it. It goes into the ground. Great job there by Trigger, defeating that incoming weapon. Now, Praetorian and Alpha Gator coming in from the north. Praetorian looks like he's in a very advantageous position. Launches an AIM-54. That one looks like it's going to be onto Garrick. Garrick launches a 120. Not sure who that's on yet. Looks like it's taken off towards Praetorian, but the AIM-54 is going to have a lot more energy than the 120 that Garrick just launched. Garrick breaking away from the AIM-54. There are the AIM-54s over top the treetops. Now, he's coming back around this hill. The AIM-54 may pick him back up. It looks like it does. 2.5 miles away. Needs to get better in the notch. The missile's still co-altitude with him. Mile, half mile. Goodbye, Garrick. Garrick, second casualty to Harpia, and the F-14s are wrecking havoc. So now it's just Derby and Trigger against a 4-ship of SPQR combatants. The Gopniks Moose Marauder, Alpha Gator, and Praetorian. Both these guys are low. Both seem to have plenty of weapons left. Trigger now having to notch an incoming Phoenix. It doesn't even track. It flies harmlessly overhead. That wants to be a satellite, so he's going to be okay. SPQR looks like they're regrouping. Derby now picking up, coming head-on against Alpha Gator. He's got 5 sticks still left on his jet. Is he on internal gas? Yes, needs to get rid of that center line that he may not be where he still got on his jet. Co-altitude for himself and Alpha Gator. Alpha Gator launches an AIM-54, 120 out from Derby. These are going to be pretty close range. Alpha Gator looks like he's going to be a line of sight. That AIM-54 can't tell, not going to be able to tell, and Alpha Gator goes down. But is he going to be able to notch the AIM-54? It's going to be close, really close. Oh, no! Derby gets annihilated in the trade from Alpha Gator, and Trigger's the only one left. Trigger is it. Him against 3. Trigger against the 3-ship, SPQR. Missile coming in on the Moose Marauder. He notches it. So Trigger trying to take down an isolated SPQR Moose Marauder. He's on the 6 of Moose Marauder. 120 out from Trigger. That one may connect. Trigger immediately goes into a defensive position. Goodbye, Moose Marauder. Trigger taking this to a 1v2 now. Is the man on a mission. Gopniks now coming in from 15,000 feet onto Trigger. Trigger wastes no time committing in onto Gopniks. Trigger 15,000, Gopniks or Trigger 9,000, Gopniks 15,000. 120 out from Gopniks at 650 knots indicated. Trigger waits to launch a 120 of his own. Does he even launch? No, immediately dives into the notch. Doesn't waste to try and wait to launch. Notches the incoming 120, does he? Yes, goes into the ground. Great defensive maneuver by Trigger. So Trigger's got 2 pilots off to the left. Gopniks and Praetorian. Praetorian's going to be behind him. Gopniks is over to his left. Trigger now committing in onto Gopniks. They're in head-to-head. Within 5 miles. Padlock on both. Trigger not launching. Trigger waiting. Oh, he does. Heavy off aspect. 120. Gopniks launches the same. Trigger immediately dives into the notch, and the missiles kill each other. No! Trigger took down Praetorian. Trigger killed Praetorian. We could see it on Gopniks' screen, and it's 1v1, baby. Mano y mano. Gopniks has 1 AIM-9 left. Trigger's got 2 AIM-9s and 2 120s. Who's coming out on top? Fuel looks, Trigger's got more fuel. But Trigger has come back from a 1v3 and brought it even at 1 apiece. Trigger's at 320 knots, Gopniks above him at 370. So Gopniks looks like he's going to have the degrees per second advantage as we play Ring Around the Mountain here in the last throes of this match. How is Trigger going to be able to get out of this? Now, Gopniks does not have the helmet-mounted sight, so off-aspect AIM-9 is not possible for him. Harpia's Trigger does. Trigger is accelerated a bit to 350 knots. Gopniks trying to rate 420. He's accelerating, I think, too fast, and Trigger looks to be coming around the backside, slowly but surely. This is a total 2-circle rate fight. 370 knots now for Trigger, 420 for Gopniks. Trigger a little bit below Gopniks. Looked like Gopniks was trying to use a bit of God's G coming up, but Trigger looked like he was raiding the Gopniks, but Gopniks has started to raid back in this fight. Still in the 2-circle. Both have enough munitions left. Gopniks has 1, Trigger has 4. Still playing Ring Around the Mountain. Plenty of fuel left on both jets. Though in fuel, Trigger does have the advantage. Gopniks still looks like he's pulling the advantage in the race. Slowly, we're seeing more and more of the rear aspect of Trigger's aircraft. 440 knots for Gopniks. 280 now for Trigger. Is Trigger trying to force the overshoot? He's going under. Reversing. We may try to see a forced overshoot. Diving down. This is risky. AIM-9 out for Trigger. Flares, and he gets rid of it. So flared the AIM-9. Trigger is very slow. I think Gopnik-Czar is going to overshoot. Trigger may be able to reverse it and come back down into the 6 of Gopnik-Czar. This is going to be one for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless of how this one plays out, we're in the scissor. SPQR, Gopnik-Czar coming over the top. Harpia's Trigger under, now coming back. Maybe have a gunshot if Gopnik-Czar cashes it all in. Both down. Trigger down under 100 knots, but he may be able to force the overshoot. He drops the nose, forces the overshoot. Gunskill, maybe. There it is. What a shot by Trigger. Holy shit. Wow. What a maneuver by Trigger to force the overshoot, uses none of his missiles, and rakes SPQR's, the Gopnik-Czar's F-15 with his 20 mil. And Gopnik-Czar now spinning out of control. And missile now inbound on Gopnik-Czar to try and finish it. There it is. Gopnik-Czar still alive, expending the remains of his M61. But Trigger, holy crap. Wow. What a showcase by Trigger. I need to collect myself after that one. Wow. So the TAC view. We're only going to pay attention to this last fight. And we're only going to pay attention to the very end. All right? So the AIM-9 comes out here really soon. Playing Ring Around the Mountain here. And Trigger starts to climb while he's decelerating, then dives. Opens a shot for the AIM-9. The AIM-9 misses. Goes for the flares. Great sight by Trigger to see the AIM-9. Trigger then pulls up over the top. Bleeds all of his remaining energy to get into a scissor. So now we're in the scissor for a couple rounds. There go. I never saw him launch those 120s. Interesting. Maybe he was just trying to ditch any excess weight he could. This is when Trigger goes into a stall. He is at like 80 knots. Drops his nose. What a fucking maneuver was that? So Captain says he jet those 120s. Did he really? But look at this. Nose up. Well, we're not quite there yet. Nose up, bleeds all of his remaining speed. 0.2 Mach faster than Gopnik-Czar. Czar blows by him, and the broadside of the barn, the flying tennis court. The F-15 presents itself and says, shoot me. And Trigger does exactly that, closing out round 2. Wow, Derby and Trigger were down 2v4 in this matchup. 2v4. Derby trades with Alpha Gator. Trigger is then 1v3 against the Moose Marauder, Praetorian, and the Gopnik-Czar, and he kills all of them. All of them. All by himself. And if he didn't have weapons remaining in this match, I don't think he would have been able to do that. But because he was selective about his shots, he had more than enough weapons, didn't necessarily have to be selective when the shot opportunities presented themselves, was able to capitalize on them, and because of that, Harpia wins the round. Damn! What a round. All right, let's bring in Derby here and finish this one out. See if he picks up. But what a showcase by these guys. Derby, my man, how are you?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. So I just wanted to talk to you guys. We're going to start doing these team interviews by the winning team about how the rounds went in your guys' perspective. I'll start by saying you guys are no newcomers to SATAL or competitive play. You guys have been in this, I think, for a couple years now, or was last year your first foray?
Yeah, it's our second year now. So we started playing last year.
Okay. And your team's from Brazil, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Is everyone from Brazil? Like, is this a team of my fellow countrymen?
Yes.
So must be a pretty thriving community inside of Brazil. I mean, how do you get a team all from one country? How does that even work out with DCS being so international?
Yeah, we didn't have any team to represent Brazil in SATAL, so we thought it would be interesting to come with the team and try to represent our country there.
But how do you find so many pilots from the same country? Especially from, you know, you don't think of Brazil as like a hotspot for virtual pilots inside of DCS.
Yeah, it's a small community, but we managed to meet good people, and we started playing together, and now we have a team.
Right. Now, Scout, I'm not saying Brazil is small by any means, but I'm saying is when you're on multiplayer servers and stuff, and maybe I'm wrong, or when you're talking on Discord and stuff, maybe the South Americans or people from outside of the United States or whatever just silo themselves, and it just becomes an echo chamber where I think these people, they're not a big representation because I don't see them, when in fact they're just not part of the communities that I maybe partake into. Well, it's really cool, though, Derby, to see a team that's from one country, and it's not international. It's not from, it's not from multifaceted countries around the world. So I think that's really cool. And the fact that you guys are able to compete at such a high level, and you guys do compete at a very high level, is, I think, very, very cool. So I got to give hats off to you for being able to do that. I mean, that was awesome. That match was incredible. So
yeah, thank you.
Let's talk about the match. You guys coming in against SPQR. So SPQR is a new team. They used to be part of the Grim Reapers. They've since broken off. What was your guys' mindset or game plan getting ready for this match?
Yeah, we had to face two F4 teams, so we thought we need to be a little more defensive maybe and try to waste some Phoenixes. And when Mazzucato died in the first round, we changed our tactics to be a little more aggressive.
I see. So your guys' idea here was to try initially to get them to trash their AIM-54s. Mazzucato, with his gear down, seemed to be like, I'm going to put myself out there as a target. Watch this. He did get them to waste one AIM-54, and actually in the second round, he got them to waste a ton of AIM-54s because Alpha Gator and Praetorian really wanted him dead, it seemed like. So what, in round one, you guys were pretty dominant, right? You guys only lost one pilot. So your game plan seemed to work in round one. We don't really need to talk about round one. Mazzucato was the highlight of round one, doing the emergency down on his gear. Going into round two, what happened early? I mean, you guys lost Mazzucato and Garrick to the F-14s. So you talked about wanting to defeat the AIM-54s, but it didn't seem like that worked in round two. What ended up happening there?
Yeah, that F-15 kept us busy there. He was flying everywhere, Mach 2, and we were concerned about him, and that I think took a little of our attention from the F-14s, and since there was two of them, they could like double tap single planes, like happened to Mazzucato. And yeah, our tactics to try to defeat the Phoenix didn't work quite well that match.
Well, I think it's a little bit rough when you're trying to defend a Mach 2 F-15 and then also trying to defend Mach 5 incoming AIM-54s. That's got to be a tough one. So you guys made it work, sort of. Trigger kind of put the match on his back there at the end. What was when you went down, because you went down against Alpha Gator, right, in the trade. And I thought you were going to, did you think you line-of-sighted that missile?
I was trying to go for at first I was trying to line of sight that missile, and since this is a Phoenix, you can see, so you can see that smoke trail. And I was looking to my right wing, saw that I didn't quite line of sight at that missile. I was like, okay, go for a notch, and I think I panicked there. I was not able to do a notch. I think I was too fast actually, and the Phoenix was just coming towards my cockpit, so a little panic there.
It is a little intimidating. So you tried to notch it, you die. So you've traded. You've taken the 2v4 that you and Trigger were in to a 1v3. Now, in DCS, for anybody that doesn't know, or in SATAL, I should say, when you die, you get kicked from the server. So Trigger is the only one still in the server for Harpia, and nobody else can see what's going on. Nobody has real-time TAC view. You can't see in spectators. You can't see anything. Trigger's the only one in the team that can see anything. What were you guys feeling when it was Trigger against a 3-ship from SPQR when that was getting started?
When I went down, we thought that we lost that one because it was 1v3, and Trigger went completely radio silence. He was so focused on the match. We were trying to see if he was what he was doing, and we have no idea that he was still fighting. And
so he wasn't talking at all.
No, he was completely immersed in DCS at that moment.
So when
we only noticed that he was still alive and fighting when right in the merge with the F-15, the 1v1 there.
Oh, so after he had killed 2 people already.
Yeah.
You guys finally realized that he was still fighting instead of trying to run away. So you guys, you said that you felt like you had lost when it went to a 1v3. Were you guys already preparing and talking about what you were going to do in round 3? Because at that point, if you did lose, it was going to be tied up at 1 apiece. Were you guys already vocalizing what you guys were going to do in round 3 while Trigger was still flying?
No, when me and Garrick died there, we all went quiet and we let Trigger play a little, and we can think about the next match when he either dies or
So Trigger wasn't announcing his kills, like he didn't tell you when he killed Moose Marauder or Praetorian.
No. No.
So what was the reaction? What did he say when he killed the Gopnik Tsar?
Oh, he went completely crazy. He was like, yeah, I killed him.
So you guys went from thinking that you guys were going to have to go to a round 3 to then realizing in a matter of seconds that Trigger has killed all 3 enemies.
Yes.
Man, what a ride. What a ride that would have had to have been.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions there. Like, we lost, guys. It's only 1v3. We're gonna lose this one. Let's fight the next one. And then I think 1 minute later, Trigger was like, "Yeah, got them." Like, what? How did you?
I'm just imagining how that would go down. Yeah, I killed them all. We're done.
Yeah, we went completely crazy in the when he announced that we killed the enemy team there.
So, do you guys have any takeaways from this match moving on to your next matches coming up in SATAL? Who's your next opponent? Have you guys already flown match 3? Don't tell me what happens.
4v4, no. It's going to be in this next weekend.
Okay. So who's your next opponent there?
It's 14 Samurais.
Oh, the 14th VFS Samurais. Okay. So
yeah.
They're not newcomers to DCS either. All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything that you're taking away from this match? You don't need to divulge any tactics or anything to me. It's okay. I'm just trying to see.
We think that SPQR played immensely good that match. We have a lot of respect for those guys now, and it was one of the best matches we played this season. Our takeaway from that is that we need to work on Mazukato's landing gear because we only noticed that we only noticed that he only announced that his landing gear was down when he took the Phoenix. Said, "Oh, my gear's down." That makes sense. Why I'm not climbing? A lot of respect for SPQR. That was a great match. Sadly, it was on a patch that missiles were missing everywhere. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that gets fixed here soon. I know ED's working on it. But Derby, I just want to say thank you for your team and yourself competing in SATAL, for you taking the time to come chat with us. I think the community's going to really appreciate getting some insight, like I said at the end of last match. insight into the team's heads, into what they were going through, into how the matches were actually breaking down and what everybody was actually thinking. So thanks for everything. Congratulations on the win over SPQR. And SPQR, well fought. Just came up a little bit short. You ran up against Trigger, and Trigger mowed you all down. So, Derby, thank you again. Much appreciated, man, and good luck in your next match.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming to hang out. Our next match is going to be Grim Reapers against Phoenix Task Force in Gold League 6v6, and then Diamond League 6v6 is Eclipse Task Force against SPQR. Those are going to be tomorrow. And I'm not sure what's going to happen the next week, because the next week is Thanksgiving, so I'm not sure how often I'm going to be streaming. I may take a couple days off for the holiday. I have my daughter over the weekend, so we may just have some 3-time matches. I'm not entirely sure. But tomorrow's matches, because we are going to be streaming Sunday, are Grim Reapers against Phoenix Task Force for Gold League 6v6, and then Diamond League 6v6 is Eclipse Task Force against SPQR. So thank you to all of our sponsors, TACView, Eagle Dynamics, and Thrustmaster for making this possible. If you guys haven't followed us already, make sure you go check out our Twitter. Follow us here, at least on Twitch. If you got a Prime sub, don't hesitate to use it either on us or anybody else you really like watching. Or you could just say that you hate us in chat. That's okay, too. I love the criticism, whatever I can do better, even if you just don't like me. Say you got an ugly face, whatever. It doesn't matter. But we also... Coyote One has put us up on Facebook. So if you want to follow us on Facebook, more content is going to be coming there. We're trying to look for integrations and trying to reach out with the community, because I think that's a big one we've been missing for a long time. So if you're on Facebook, give that a look. DCS World Events, give it a search. I don't think I have any social media or anything links for Facebook on here, because I've never really used Facebook myself. But go check out all the social media. If you've missed any of the past matches, I'm going to be uploading a bunch today and tomorrow. Those should be up. Everything before that for this year and the previous year should be on YouTube and the VODs here on Twitter. That's all I got. So until next time, stay safe in those virtual skies, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.